Hey guys, and welcome back to our podcast.
Today we're going to be diving into more of the fitness side of stuff, common myths and misconceptions in South Asian culture, like lifting heavy makes you bulky, being a hijabi and exercising, and other ways you can stay fit and healthy without even stepping foot into a gym. So let's get to it.
I'm just going to move my mic slowly.
How are you, Sanaa?
Yeah, I'm good. Do you know what? Like, I know you said like 5K running and all of that is probably not the best for weight training, but at the moment the sun is shining and you just want to be outdoors, right?
Yeah, definitely.
And so I've been enjoying my 5Ks a little bit.
Saying that though, I think in a weight loss journey, I don't think running's best, but you're not losing weight anymore. You're maintaining. So you can literally do what you want.
Yeah.
I don't only say that because it makes you more hungry.
I definitely
And
that.
to run a 5K, all you have to eat is like a donut. And how long does it take you to eat a donut?
Oh my God, like literally 2 minutes, guys.
Yeah, how long does it take you to run a 5K?
Oh gosh, you're pushing like 30 minutes here.
Yeah, so, and that's like obviously a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat. Like I used to run as well, and when your focus is weight loss, then running isn't the best.
Okay.
Like walking, low impact, that's what you want to be focusing on.
Okay.
Because how you burn calories is like a whole minefield. So you've got your BMR, which is what you burn just at rest. So if you literally laid in bed all day doing nothing, that's literally what you would burn, which is the bulk of how you burn calories. And then you've got something called NEAT, which is non-exercise activity thermogenesis. And that's things like fidgeting, moving, walking, steps. That is, I think, higher. So I think, don't quote me, but 10% maybe. Okay. And then exercise, which is exercise activity thermogenesis, so EAT, that is only 5%.
Okay.
So that's things like your running, weight training, things like that. Like if you're actually going out to exercise, only 5% of your calorie burn is from that.
Wow. So you can actually lose weight without doing any sort of exercise and just by surviving.
Yeah, literally. It's literally based on calories in, calories out. That's how you lose weight. And yeah, so focusing on your diet and steps, you can make so much progress just doing that. Where weight training or strength training or exercise is important is for other factors, so not just for your weight loss. Okay. So for example, cardio is good for your heart health, not just for losing weight. It's obviously makes your blood pump faster around your body, it improves your cardiovascular system, it can reduce blood pressure, it can obviously do that. And then in terms of your strength training, that's building lean muscle.
Okay.
So when you build lean muscle, that's what gets rid of that skinny fat look. So I know so many people will lose weight and then they still don't like their body.
Yeah.
And I'm like, yeah, because that you've got no muscle in you. It's just like flabby.
Yeah.
So what people say when they want that toned look, what toned is basically you build muscle. So say you build muscle in your arm. You lose fat around your arm through your diet and then you build muscle in the gym, and then when you've lost the fat, that muscle will push against your skin, giving you that toned look. And that's what people want. So you can't get that toned look without doing any form of exercise.
Can I ask you something here? Yeah. This is like a question that me and maybe many mums also ask. After going through pregnancy, after having that flabby stomach, I think I've really struggled with kind of like toning up in that kind of area. So without having a mummy makeover, is there any way of toning up your stomach without just purely just based on diet and strength training, or is it just a no-go now?
No, definitely, of course you can. So you have to have obviously a small enough body fat percentage to do that. You've obviously birthed a human, so which is amazing in itself. So you're going to have maybe your scars, your stretch marks. That's a given. But definitely you can do that. So with the right diet and also protein. So protein is key. Protein boosts your metabolism and it burns fat in your body. So when you eat protein, you actually burn more calories eating more protein, because protein has a higher thermic effect of food.
Okay.
Rather than your carbs and your fat. So say you had like 200 calories of something that's protein and 200 calories of something that's carbs, you've actually eaten less calories of the protein thing than the carbs, so you're going to lose more weight, and it keeps you fuller as well.
Of course.
So having a high protein diet, doing enough NEAT, so enough steps, and focusing on weight training will definitely give you that toned stomach that you want. But it's just being consistent and having that patience. It's not going to happen overnight. It took you 9 months to grow that baby, so you're not going to wake up tomorrow with abs.
I'm doing sit-ups and I'm looking at my body like, right, where's that six-pack coming?
And
come on.
So ab exercises is not going to get you abs. So doing like loads of sit-ups and things like that can actually be counterproductive. I think I read somewhere that after you've had a baby, doing sit-ups is actually, it causes that thing. Have you heard of it?
Whether it's like
recti, so it splits your abdomen. So it's just counterproductive. By doing things like squats, compound lifts, so squats, deadlifts, hip thrusts, chest press, you actually brace your core.
Okay.
And you stabilize your core through that. So that's a form of an ab exercise as well.
Amazing.
But doing things more like Pilates based stuff, so like reverse planks, leg lifts, things like that, that will kind of what's the word? Strengthen your core better.
But do you not feel it's so difficult for women, especially like with hijabi women, to go into environments like that where it's mixed? And I, like myself, have struggled so much. And this is the reason why I've left the gym now, is firstly, like obviously with times of being a mummy and all the rest of it. But part of it is when I go into a gym and I want to use the weight section, it's crowded with men. And this little person over here is squeezing through trying to use weights. And it's just very, very intimidating.
It is.
And there's so many things I need to think about, the way that I dress. Obviously, I keep a hijab on in the gym, and then I've got to be conscious that I'm not completely in the middle of a group of men doing exercise. It doesn't really resonate with me. So how do I like combat that?
I think in terms of that, like, obviously I don't know in Gloucester now, but in Leicester there are ladies only gyms or ladies only sections, so that would combat that. My goal is to literally open a state-of-the-art like women's lifting only gym. That would be amazing, because even though like I'm not a hijabi, I also struggle. Like, it's not nice when there's a bunch of men there and you just want to do your workout and you're conscious of them looking at you and stuff like that. It's not the best. So I'd advise going to a women's only one, or just investing in some stuff at home that you can do home workouts. Then you don't need to wear your hijab. You can be comfortable. You can wear what you want and still make insane progress just by doing home workouts.
Which is what I've started doing now. So I mean, my equipment is not even expensive or anything, and it's stuff that can be tucked away to the side as well, because people struggle with space and whatnot. But it's just a few weights, a bench, a treadmill to get my steps in as and when, and some dumbbells, and that's literally it.
That's all you need, really. I think I even saw somewhere you can get these adjustable dumbbells now that like you can change the weight. Like, I think it is £300-400, but it's an investment. Like, imagine you pay 50 quid a month to a gym. It's the same thing. And then you can get resistance bands. You can progress with that, and it's progressively overloading over time. That's how you build muscle. So either increasing the weight, or increasing the number of reps that you do, or increasing the time and attention, so making sure that your form is really good. So making a note of that and making sure each week that you do it, then that is better. And I get like loads of women are like, oh well, I don't like home workouts, like I just not motivated. And I'm like, well, if you don't want to go to the gym because you're scared, you've got gym anxiety, you don't want to work out at home, like I don't have a magic wand. Like, you're gonna have to do something. You have to help yourself a little bit. You can't just sit there and be like, woe be me, like nothing's gonna change, I'm just gonna be fat forever. Like, come on, you have to shake yourself and to give yourself a bit.
And it makes you feel a ton of, like, honestly, when I put my kids to sleep and I just get that half an hour to do a workout, knowing that I don't need to go out to the gym, or knowing that I don't need to always go for a run, and I've got those workouts at home, I can literally stand in front of the TV, do half an hour here and there, and I feel so much better for it.
You never regret a workout, ever.
Exactly. And it just refreshes your mind, and it just gives you a new outlook.
Exactly. So that's probably what I would advise doing as a hijabi woman. And then once you've like built confidence with that, you never know, you might want to join a gym. You might feel more motivated to go and do that. I've had a few clients who started off with home workouts and they've loved it, and now they've joined a gym.
That's amazing.
It's really exciting because they like get that confidence and stuff. And I remember me when I first started, I had no idea like how to get a barbell and like how to put weights on and like how to lift weights, and like do you know what, the people in the gym, they're not even looking at you. Or
do you know what, you do feel like they are though, but like you feel a bit silly.
Like, everyone is focused on their own journey. And do you know what, even if you need help and you ask a gym instructor, they're so nice and they're so helpful. Like, you might get the odd like mean person or whatever, but majority I found is really nice, and they help you. And also, like, the internet has so much. Like, go
TikTok,
Google, YouTube, how to do this workout, how to do that workout. Do your homework before.
Yeah.
So when you go into the gym, you know what you're doing. You're not going to be there, like, thinking, what do I do?
Yeah.
And that's why having a solid plan is best. So with my clients, I give them a solid workout plan, so they know exactly what they're doing. They've got like a video next to it on how to do it. They can log their weights, etc., so that they know the next week what they're doing. It's so much better than stepping into the gym and thinking, oh, let me try this exercise, let me do that,
work out something.
Like, I remember my mum, when she used to go to the gym, she'll literally go on the treadmill for like 10 minutes, go on the bike for 10 minutes, go on the cross trainer for 10 minutes, do like a few machines, that's it. Jalo, let's go home.
And that's a lot with a lot of women, because they don't really know what they're doing.
Whereas if you have a solid plan, you follow it, and it might seem boring, but doing the same workout plan for a good 12 weeks, building your strength with that same workout plan, doing it over and over again, you will see amazing results, rather than switching it up all the time, saving a Instagram workout, doing that one day, doing this something one day,
just targeting all
do
different
nothing
things
for you. Like, you might think you're doing something, but it's wasting your time.
And that's why, like, I really do miss the gym, because I think that there's just so much variety
in
equipment.
Back in the gym now.
But like, I need somewhere in Gloucester.
So I used to go to Everlast.
Okay.
And I loved it there.
I like the Everlasting Preston, so when I go there, I like going there. It's a dark gym. Like,
it's dark. And they had like a hip thrust area. That's what I really liked, because I like doing hip thrust. And I love that gym so much. And it didn't used to get that busy. I used to go after work as well, and it was super busy. But that's like a retail park, so you can park there. They've got free parking. They've got a swimming pool as well, if you wanted to go swimming. But that's the gym I used to go to. Nuffield's also a good one.
So I was at Nuffield, and I really, really enjoyed it there. But then I was going during my lunch breaks when it was quieter, and at the moment it just does not work with school pickup, because I'd literally be out for like 4 hours a day from my work. So, and then the times in the evenings, like sometimes when you've just put the kids to sleep, you don't really want to be getting changed to go out. And with Nuffield, it's like
it's quite far.
So you've just got to think about all of that. But I'm on a mission right now in Gloucester to like push women's only. So like currently, like, I've started a women's only Pilates.
That's amazing.
I know, they've had so much interest, and I'm so happy for the women that have actually put themselves out there and started going to these sessions, and I'm seeing such a different mind like shift.
So nice, because I know, like, growing up in Gloucester, there was never anything like that. I think there's just that GR1 gym, which is like not nice.
I think like with Gloucester, like, you need something that's like local, so people can be, because there's loads of different like studios and stuff like that, but then it's accessibility and all of that you have to think about. So this Pilates sessions are like going really, really well. That's one thing off my list, and the next thing on my mind is like women's only gym. But that's a harder one to kind of push.
Inshallah one day, because even in Leicester there's a really good ladies only section in Pure Gym, because they just refurbished it last year. So I used to go there, but it's so far from my house, so it would take me like 30 minutes to get there, and then
just don't have that time.
I know, and then it puts me off going, and then I don't go. So now I'm at Nuffield, because the only reason I'm there is because it's so close to my house, and there's no other gym in around where I live in Leicester. Like, I don't live like in the kind of Asian-y areas where there's more of that, but there's such a market there for it. If someone wants to give me 100k, then
invest in us. We've got all the ideas. Like, honestly, like, I've got a mood board right now going with like bougie coffee shop, or like bougie coffee wellness thing in the thing.
So in Leicester, I went for lunch with Halima, who is my client, and it's a Pilates studio, and it's a cafe underneath, and it's so nice. It's such a good. But again, that was so far from my house. It was like half an hour. But yeah, if I had the money, like, I would love to do it.
Someone invest in us, please.
But you never know. Like, I think it's such a, like, the life is changing, the world is changing. Muslim women are getting more and more confident, which I absolutely love to see, and they're seeing that they can do things. They don't just need to sit at home.
What do you think if you saw a hijabi woman running around in Gloucester? Like, what would be
love it.
What would be your initial thoughts? Because this is something that I've really struggled with. Because when I lived in Preston, there was a whole like docks area where most women used to go and run about with, and it was great because it was private and there wasn't any like main roads or anything. So you could do your 5K and be pretty comfortable in that. But when I moved to Gloucester, it's just like, where can I go for a run? And then I was driving to different places and I thought, well, it's taking me like 10-15 minutes to get there, 10-15 minutes back. So I started running like locally, literally from my doorstep in Treadworth. And at the beginning I was so intimidated because I was like, if a Molly Sav is driving past, oh no, what is he thinking? Who's this hijabi on the road running?
Hopefully you're too quick so that he doesn't even see your face.
But now that I've done it a couple of times, like I feel like I don't care.
Good.
I'm dressed modestly. I make sure I'm covered.
Do you know what, Sanaa? As long as your husband doesn't mind, like, I don't think you're doing anything wrong. Like,
but it's that mindset, isn't it? It's about seeing that hijabi running on the road, thinking, what is this woman doing? You know?
No, but I think that's amazing. I used to run in Gloucester, and I used to run with a hijabi, actually. I'll give you her number. Okay. She's amazing. I miss her. And she lives like near where we live. And she would run with me with her hijab, and I like look at her like, wow, like so inspiring. Because inshallah one day like I get to have that journey as well, like, and wear a hijab and feel that as well. But honestly, you're amazing. Like when I see you do that, and like I'm like sweating, dying, and then I look at her like, oh, I can't say anything. But I don't think there's anything wrong with that. There's also a big running community in Gloucester. Okay. Have you heard of Farrokh Murda?
No, I don't think so.
He has a running group. I think it's called Run GL1 or something. But I did one session with him because my old boss, Salim, he's into running a lot, and he was doing it too.
But is it mainly men?
No, there's a few women.
Okay.
But also parkrun. I think.
Yes, I went to a few parkruns, but it's the timings, isn't it?
It's 9 o'clock on a Saturday.
Yeah, exactly. And when you've got kids, and they're awake from 6:30 in the morning, but still.
Take them with you.
Oh my gosh, my kids would probably keep up. Like they have a ton of energy.
Yeah, because it's just around the park, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like a few times, but you could get them involved. I know some people, like, obviously your kids are older now, but they do it with
the pushchair. That's really inspiring. That's so inspiring. I wish I did that when.
There's one girl I follow. I think she did like 21K with
is this
is it Anelia?
Yeah, Anelia.
So. Yeah, I was like, wow, I can't even do that without
amazing.
a push.
She's absolutely amazing. I do follow her, and she's goals for sure.
Yeah, so it just goes to show, if you've got kids, there's no excuses. You can get out there and do something. Yeah. Even for a walk, like you can strap your baby to you can go for a walk, and then like if you're going to keep saying like, oh, well, I can't do this, I can't do that, she's too fussy, like. You have to just do it at some point.
You just have to
beat
get
the
over it
and just do it. Do your best. That's all you can do.
But like you said, there's so many like hijabi women out there now, like in the fitness world as well. And it's really inspiring to see that they are kind of like breaking the norms and the typical culture, and like just getting out there and doing it, and it's so inspiring to see.
It is really inspiring.
And with really modest wear as well. Yeah. Like there is so many like longer tops and trousers you can wear now that cover all, and like
even Gymshark like do modest wear. Yeah. I think Honor Active do as well. Yeah. Yeah, that's really good as well. So there's loads of options out there.
Yeah, amazing.
It's exciting. But no, the more women that like start weight training, lifting weights, because not just for your looks as well, it's when you're 70, 80 years old, you want to be able to put your socks on, you want to be able to get up out of a chair, and you don't think about that now, but the more muscle you have, the more easier it's going to be for you. So like it's not just about aesthetics, it's not just about looks, it's about your health and well-being in the future.
So with like strength training, because obviously again with the Indian culture there's a lot of mindset like, don't do strength training, don't build muscle, you look like a man. Or, why are you doing that? Don't lift too heavy because you won't get pregnant, or you'll struggle getting pregnant, and all of that. Like, what are your thoughts on that?
So, again, like everyone has their opinion and everyone thinks that. But the reality is that to get bulky, it's so hard. Like it's so hard to get bulky. The reason why men get bulky is because they have more testosterone, and that's what gets them bulky. Women don't, so they don't have that, so you won't. And in order to get bulky, you need to be eating hell of a lot of calories. So you need to be in a calorie surplus. So if you're on a weight loss journey and you're in a deficit, strength training is not going to make you bulky because you're losing weight and you're losing fat. You're just going to look better. So it's literally controlling controlling what you're eating. If you're eating loads of food and you're shunt training, you will get bulky. Because you're going to put on muscle and you're going to put on fat.
Yeah, you won't lose
so you're
fat.
going to look big.
Yeah.
Whereas if you're losing fat or you're maintaining your weight, you'll literally look good. You'll look toned, you'll look nice, you'll have a good body. So there's literally no way you can get bulky. And I think that's where the misconception is because people don't look at their diet. They're eating lots, they're weight training, and they get bigger.
Yeah.
And then when they stop weight training, they get smaller. So they think, oh, it was the weight training.
Yeah.
Not the late night pizza, not the late night snacking.
Let's ignore all that.
Not that. No, it couldn't be that.
Yeah.
It's definitely me with lifting weights that got me bulky.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's why. But if you do it properly, you got a coach, you got someone guiding you along the way, there's no way you're going to get bulky. In terms of pregnancy, like, again, so many factors go into that. I've seen literally heavily pregnant women lifting weights. When you think about our ancestors in India, they had flipping things on their head, lifting weights, carrying babies, doing all of that, and there was no issues at all. So I think fertility is obviously a sensitive topic, but there's loads of factors that can go into that. I don't think it's going to harm anything. And obviously just do what you're comfortable with.
Yeah. Because I got told off a lot, like when I was trying to get pregnant and when I had my miscarriage and whatnot, is just you lifted a Hoover and you went down the stairs.
Not even a dumbbell.
Not even a dumbbell. It was a Hoover, and like you start questioning a lot of things.
So what are you supposed to do when you get pregnant? Just sit there for 3 months
in front of your husband, and then like obviously when your husband's not around, you've got to power through, don't you?
And not move. Like it's just nobody does that. Like,
and it's the stuff afterwards as well. Like after pregnancy, like with me, I had a C-section both times, so it was a recovery side of things. And in Indian culture, again, it's just stay put for the 6 weeks, don't move, and
was
don't
it like
do
a
this.
planned C-section?
No, so both of them were emergency C-sections, and I think for me, I mentally struggled with that a lot because I'm more of like, I know what's going to happen. I'm going to go in there and I'm going to pop this baby out, and then I'm going to be like going back to my old ways again. And I'm a planner, so when the first curveball happened and I had an emergency the first time, it completely derailed me. And I think that's probably why the weight also never dropped as easily, because I was just sat, not really doing much, just like a little bit depressed as well.
Yeah, because they tell you like you can't even bend down.
I literally couldn't move. But I wish I had a little bit more education beforehand, and I got a little bit more active as I went along. With the second one, again, it was, well, you can't go out. You need to stay within the 6 weeks, stay, recover, which again, is coming from a place of love. And I completely appreciate all the love and support I got in that 6 weeks. But like, you see like people from the white culture, literally a day or two later, like out and about, like walking and doing this and doing that, and you have to question it a little bit, and you think, well, should I be more active? And how much science is actually behind like the recovery side of things post-pregnancy? And I'm sure like like when you've had a baby and you've got to eat so many different things and stuff, and that all helps. But staying at home for 6 weeks, like a 6 week confinement, I don't know the science behind it, and I don't really understand.
Did they say that even like when you've had a normal birth?
Yeah, so they just basically say like
recover. Bleeding?
Yeah, so
I
probably
think it's that like cultural thing. Like when you're bleeding, you can't like.
Yeah,
which is
and
crazy,
again, like like don't take the baby out, otherwise it's gonna get cold or whatever. But then you see white people like with their babies completely open, and again, it's coming from a place of love. So I will never say that what my mum did or whatever is wrong, because I completely appreciate all the help and support I got. But I think there should be a little bit more encouragement that just go for a little walk around the block.
Yeah,
and you're
just
fine.
like build it up and see how you get on.
Yeah.
Because do you know what? I think that can actually instill fear in you.
Of course.
So that when that 6 week period is over, you're going to be so scared to take your baby out, and it's going to be so like nerve-wracking because you've not done it, and it's something new to you. Whereas if you just like do it initially and people don't make a big thing about it, then it might even become easier.
I mean, like this is probably a massive topic that we can maybe talk about later, but just even going out for a walk when you're going through the mental struggles within the first 6 weeks of having a baby, like it literally would have cleared my mind a little bit, definitely. Just because it can feel like a groundhog.
Exercise can really help with mental health. Obviously, like I don't know, but
we can touch on this another time. But I'm kind of like divulging from the main focus here. But back to fitness, back to weight training and all the rest of it. So you definitely recommend strength training over cardio then?
Definitely, if you want to look better, and you want to like have that longevity.
Yeah.
So they say like muscle is like decreases your age as well. So if you want to decrease your aging process, then strength train. And what it does also is it burns loads of calories at rest.
Yep.
So I think the reason why I can eat so much now is because I'm burning so much at rest. So the more muscle you have, the more your metabolism works better and the more your body burns. So yeah, so if you're just kind of doing cardio, you're not going to be able to eat as much as if you were.
And how long does it take for you to build up that kind of muscle when you're doing strength training to get to a position like that where you can eat comfortably, your metabolism has increased?
So I think that depends from person to person, because obviously people start from like such different weights and have different goals in mind. For me personally, I've been on and off weight training since 2020, so 5 years now. They say that you have that muscle memory, so even if you have like a little bit of a gap and you go back to it, your muscles remember, which is good, because with cardio, if you stop running, that's it, gone. You have to start from again.
Oh, I know the feeling.
So that's the good thing about weight training as well, is that it's always kind of there for you. For me, I think if you followed like a structured plan for 12 weeks, you would definitely see a difference. But again, it's not something you do for 3 months and you stop. It's something you must carry on forever, because especially if you want that life. But you don't need to go like 4 or 5 times a week. Like I personally go 3 times a week, and I do full body 3 times a week. But yeah, even doing it 2 times a week is better than nothing.
Okay. And then like in terms of like the type of strength training you're doing, does that make a difference? So if for example someone was doing Pilates, which is like very like body weight only.
So Pilates I wouldn't class as strength training. Pilates is great for building your core muscles and mobility and stuff like that. Like I'm not dissing Pilates, I think it's great as an addition, but you must be doing your fundamental movements, which is your squats, your lunges, your deadlifts, your hip thrusts, your bench presses, stuff like that. That's going to be what tones that, because if you're just using your body weight, even though it burns and it might be really hard, like I know it's hard, I've done reformer myself in the past, it's not building muscle.
Okay,
it's
so you need a combination of
and because with the reformer class you can't, like, how do I explain it, you can't like monitor like what you're doing, so you can't every week know that you're progressing with weights, where you can obviously you know you've done like a 8 kg, next week you can do a 10 kg, like so it's easier and it's quicker. So if you want to get your results quicker, that's probably the way to do it. But I think Pilates, like even after people have given birth, is great though. Like I think you should still do it as a supplement,
and especially with like PCOS and people like that, where it's not like high intensity.
Low impact is key for that. So people think, oh no, I must run this, I must do that, but you're actually destroying your hormones by doing that, because you want to just be like calm and do that. And that's like what weight training does, Pilates does, walking does, and like having a good diet, so your body's not stressed all the time.
Okay, yeah, that's really useful to know.
Well, it was nice talking about it.
I know, for sure. And I've learned so much from just listening to you talk as well.
Because me, like, people did.
I like my running, and I do a little bit of strength training at home, but it's definitely something that I need to like improve on for sure.
Yeah, I think if you just followed a plan and then make a note of what you're doing and just progress each week, you would make so much progress.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
No, you're welcome. I hope that like it helped you guys listening, and I think we should say our socials as well. So mine is z.gyms on Instagram. My DMs are always open if you're struggling with anything. I'd love to connect and help you meet your goals.
And mine is Confessions of a Dietaholic. And again, shoot me a message if you've got any questions about nutrition, dieting, Indian culture, any of that, then always happy to help.
Perfect. Thanks for listening.
Thank you.